Hello, everybody. It's another segment of Evangels MC. It's Fonz here, and we're on a mission. We're on a mission to Mars. That's a good way to start the morning, on a mission to Mars, right? Listen, so seriously, I always like to start off with some kind of humor. And I like to have jokes in between the things that I talk about and have some sort of humor in between it. Not to water down the severity of the situation that we're dealing with, or to act like the things that are happening in your life are not real and serious, and that you're not feeling the pressures of life on you. Because I lived it, I understand how difficult it is sometimes when you're dealing with death of a loved one. Maybe you just lost your job. Maybe you're doing everything you can, and your wife is just, going bonkers, and just, you're having a relationship issue, your husband, can't handle the stress, so he goes out and drinks. We're starting to hear about a lot of things that we're starting to hear about a lot of things. But all these things have always been happening. And that's what's so interesting about issues that come up like this, right? First off, I want to tell everybody again, I'm Fonz. Some people know me as Fonz. People call me Alf. I have a lot of other different nicknames. Won't mention them right now. My name's Alfonso R. Sendejas III. I am the third in the line of Alfonsos. My grandfather, and then it's my pops, and then me. Now, grandfather, you call him a grandfather just because he had my pops, but it is what it is. And again, when it comes to family, when I talk about things, I talk about things from experience. I know what it's like to have a grandfather that's living, but it's a complete, buttard. Not to say other words right now, I can choose to use words. I can. And I choose to sometimes be very animated, and to paint a specific picture, I use certain words that will drive that point for me. I'm not afraid to use words. Now, the Bible talks about James, some people will point out the Christian world, and really, I don't even want to say the Christian world. Those people that call themselves by a certain name will point out things out of the abundance of our heart. And so, I'm coming at you out of the abundance of my heart. I spend the time talking to people. I spend the time educating people and being with people and going through those things with people, because that's what's abundant in my heart. I know what it's like to go through those things, and I know how difficult it is, to the point unto death, to the point unto where I don't want to do this anymore, to the point unto, screw all these people, to the point, you name it, been there, done that. And that's not to pat myself on the back. Those are stripes. And those are stripes not because I was a badass. Those were stripes because I grew up in the same world that everybody else is growing up in. I didn't choose to get spit on my face. I didn't choose to get slapped on my left and right cheek. I didn't choose to get betrayed by those that I loved. I didn't choose any of that. I didn't choose to lose my house, to lose my vehicle. I didn't choose any of those things. I fought tooth and nail to keep those things within my grasp or control of those things. But the Lord will teach us that things don't mean nothing unless we have Him. And by being connected with Him, then we understand the value of everything. And so when I speak, I spend the time because I know that I have something to give. How do I know this? Because when I talk to people, people tell me time in and time out, day in and day out. I see what happens when I get put in a place and the Lord sends me to this place unwillingly, willingly, because I had to make the decision to drive to certain places, just like I made a decision to drive back to Barstow when I would much prefer to have been in Carlsbad. I was enjoying my time in Carlsbad. Nobody knew I was in Carlsbad. I just said, I'm not going to talk to nobody no more. I'm just going to deal with what I deal with out there. I don't need to talk to anybody anymore. I'm retired. I'm just living it up. Go play volleyball, go enjoy the beach and help my boy, build his business, as crazy as he is. It is what it is, and people will say, well, no, I helped you out. Well, if you want to think that way, keep thinking that way. I know what I'm there to do. And every time that I come into a place to serve. And so people will tell me, oh, we're going to clean you up, Alf. Don't worry about it. We're going to clean you up, Alf. Don't worry about it. Clean what up? I'm not here to be cleaned up. I'm here to clean you up. I'm here to show you the way. I'm here to show you the way because I paved the way. I've gone through it. I wasn't the first one. And by no means are my stripes more valuable than the Lord's. Yet my stripes have the same value. And so we share the word with everybody freely. But now how is this going to help me? People ask me. How is this going to help me? How are these videos going to help me? Right? And I used to ask the same question. It's like, well, when I'd go to a seminar or I would go to a teaching somewhere, I was told once, those things that you get for free, most of the time you don't put no value on because you don't realize the pain and suffering and loss and the work that was put behind it. There's nothing for free. Let's get that 100% clear. When you get advertised that something is free, there isn't nothing free. What I'm telling you right now, it wasn't free to me. It was painful. It was painful to go through all those situations. But even the Apostle Paul spoke on it, saying that the hardships of this time are nothing compared to the glory. And he is so right on. The bro wasn't lying. And this is why it's so important to pick up that Bible. Forget about what people are saying around you. And see, I'm telling you this. As I'm telling you this, I'm asking you to listen to me, and I understand that. How confusing is that? And that's the problem. That's the problem that we have in America. That's the problem that we have in any country. Who the hell do I listen to? Listen to yourself. And make the decision to look into what people are saying. Now, I've looked into, let's say, as an example, I've looked into, who can I use? Tony Robbins. I've looked into what Tony Robbins is talking about. I even spent money on the trainings, and I've gone through those trainings, with the exception of the fire walk, which I was like, all right, that's good enough for me. I don't need to go through no fire walk. Why? Because I believe. I don't need to reinforce my belief with walking through the fire, but some people need to, so to speak, and literally. But I did all of it. On top of it, it's very expensive, but it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. Because He's never steered me in the wrong direction. Man has faith. Sometimes he says it in a certain way. And sometimes he says it, in a way that it's like, you really have to think about what he's saying. Unless you've been listening to him long enough, you won't realize that he's not saying no against God. He's kind of, he calls him the creator of the universe. Well, the creator of the universe has that name too, because if we look at Jehovah Jireh, we look at the Lord Jesus Christ, we look at the Redeemer, blood of Christ. I mean, we have all these names. He's got a lot of names. So we have to really seek to find what we're looking for. Now, this is one of those key things. You have to be careful for what you seek. If you're looking for a hoe, you're gonna find it. And you ain't gonna turn a hoe into a housewife. I'm gonna tell you like that right now. I tried. I'm telling you from experience. Don't do it. But that's my experience. I've heard stories. I've only heard them. I don't know. And I can't tell you that they're true. It doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. Well, then what the hell do I do? Well, I tell you right now, you're dealing with percentages. I remember when I got out, I was in YA, and I was getting my papers. I went to the board, and the board sits there and they tell you, all these things. They judge you and they tell you, whatever they tell you, And you're sitting there listening to them, and all you want to do is get out. But then I'm sitting there listening to them, and these are people that were genuinely concerned with my welfare. Like, they were genuinely concerned with my welfare because they spent the time to talk to me. Like, they were not talking at me. They were talking to me. Like, I was feeling it in my heart. And again, all I wanted to do was get out. But they're like, look, we hope you have learned from your time here. I was in this special program. We hope that, because I had people vouching for me. I had people vouching for me to get out. I had people vouching for me to not spend the whole time that was given to me on the books, because they thought and they felt deep down inside that I didn't need to continue to be in there because I had fully rehabilitated. And I tell you, I'll never forget that lady. I may have forgotten her name by now, or maybe I just don't want to say it out loud. But man, do I have love for her. And boy, do I have love for my guy that was my caseload manager. I mean, it was incredible. We call it juice inside. I call it favor. But they call it juice inside. And juice is favor. It's just a different word for it. And I tell you, the amount of favor that I had while I was there was incredible. And it was only God. It was only God. But at the same time, it was because people could see what I was about. And they themselves would say, you don't need to be here anymore. They petitioned the board. I stopped appealing. They petitioned the board. And there's a responsibility behind that. There's an absolute responsibility behind those that favor you. Because when I got to the board, and even the board members could see I mean, your parents are, if your parents love you, your parents are, it's like me saying, oh, I love my mom. She's the greatest woman on the planet. Well, she's your mom. Oh, I love my dad. He's the greatest man on planet Earth. Well, he's your dad. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say that. For those of you that got those feelings about that, right? That's a discussion for another day. But statistics, dealing with the statistics. I was a statistic. I was a number. And my number was just of the same as many numbers. We had a number and our last name. That's all we had left. Our number and our last name. And I remember seeing guys go and seeing guys come right back. And the boys would be like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna keep your seats warm," because that's another discussion too. Don't need to talk too much about that today. But we keep your seats warm. Come Ramflas. You're welcome back to the Ramfla, Holmes. You're welcome back to the Ramfla once when you come back. Sometimes a year would pass. I remember we thought one of the boys was gone for good. A couple years gone. Cool. Stopped sending letters. He's living it up. Next thing you know, he's right back. We found out that he was in a different cottage. It's like, man. And that's the statistics. They're against you. But they're not. They're not against you. It's an algorithm. Based off of this behavior, we know that this is going to happen. Based off of this behavior, the statistical reviewer analyzation of you, right? Analyzing numbers and statistics and figuring you out. Yes, through the algorithm, we know that sooner or later we're going to see this person back if they continue down the same path. You can be in, listen, you can be in, changed your life completely rehabilitated, only to get right back out and do the same thing that you were doing before. And if what you were doing before got you in the first place, then it's time to change that what got you in to what changed in you to get you out. Here, let me say that again. It's time to change what you did that got you in. It's very basic. It's time to change what you did to get you in and start doing what you did to get you out and continue on that path. And it's so hard. I know. Because you get out and life for you hasn't changed. Life has continued for everybody else. It's an amazing situation that happens, and this is why people become institutionalized. And this happens, this is true in relationships, this is true in everything that you do. Not just, I'm using this as an example. And I'm giving you keys and clues. And you get out and you realize that this fad, that fad. I mean, when I got out, we went from having pagers to having cell phones. That was a transition for me. I remember seeing the first cell phone that came into the place when I was there. Like a cell phone. I'm like, oh crap. That was pretty dope. It was pagers. And it was just regular pagers, not those cool pagers, because even when I got out, we were still transitioning from flip phone pagers, Alcatel or whatever they were, to those longer beepers that could I think they used to like even say a couple of words for you or whatever on there. Don't remember all that too much no more. Things were changing because things are always changing, regardless if you go with it or you don't. Technology is advanced and is continuously to be advanced. You know, I remember talking about LEDs. LEDs was something that, you know, you put on a little board and you were playing with LEDs. Never did they think about until they thought about it. And then they started producing it. They started, you know, creating it. And then they tested it out before they put it out to the masses to sell. Statistically knowing that people want more, want better, want to improve algorithm. Again, I talked about this the other day about how websites now with spiderware, malware, all these things, right? You know, they have all these things out there to keep track of what you're doing. No matter what you do to turn this thing off, that thing off, whatever it is that you're thinking you're doing, you take a look at even Facebook, and even if you turn all that stuff off on Facebook, if you start looking up, I'm just giving you a perfect example. Take a look at the advertisements that you're getting. I guaranteed you either liked it or you said a comment on it or something, and now all of a sudden you're getting the same kind of advertisements all the time. Guaranteed. How many of you have seen those shirts that come up with your name on it? All of a sudden, you see a shirt with the company from the same company that I see the company, but it's got your name on it, or a logo of something that you liked, or something that has to do with those things that you like. Start looking at airfare. You start looking at cruises. You start looking at all of that, and all of a sudden it populates on your browser. All of a sudden, now you have ads that populate on your browser. Businesses that are paying other businesses to know what you're doing, so that they can be the first dibs, and you can say, no, I'm still going to go with another company. But so many people will follow suit and fall into place. The toilet paper crisis. People were paying $20 for a roll of toilet paper, $30 for a roll of toilet paper. It's real shit. Real shit. The PlayStation situation where people were paying $1,000 to get a PlayStation for Christmas. Real shit. This is the things that we do as people. And those people that are like that always get caught. Here, invest in this. We're gonna make you millionaires. We just need $29.99. This is how we did it. And look at us here. Let me show you my PayPal account that's got $1 million in it. I don't recall Trump ever exposing his taxes. I don't recall Zig Ziglar showing us his bankroll. Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Earl Nightingale, all these people. They may be doing it. They're putting you together. I've seen the put-togethers. But you should try it. See, The thing is, I remember this in the car business, and it's a true thing. In the car business, it was like this. In the car business, you start to see how things really work. And then you're like, I can't believe all this. I see it all the time. I saw it for a long time with people coming in and then going out and trying to talk down on the business itself. Billion-dollar industry. And there's snakes out there just like anything else. In the banks, in the gas station, and the church, you name it. It doesn't matter where you go. There's snakes everywhere. So you go to the car business and you say, oh, you bunch of vultures. Well, number one, you came to us. This is a hard thing because number one, you came to our house. It's our house. How's it our house? Well, because I'm on this team. Churches will do that in a different light. It's our house. Take off your drawers. I'm at 26 minutes. I'll do this in segments, and so this is just part one of this series here. I have some time today to do another part and maybe finish it up at that point. You know, visit us on our website. It's evangelismc.org. Take a look at our About Us and those things. A lot of people ask us, well, what do you do exactly? Well, there's a lot of things that we get into. We do nonprofit construction. As far as contracting, we can definitely get into residential, commercial, and military contracts. We've been doing those for over 40 years. It's including my dad, and so I've been in the business I've been in the construction world for about 20 years, a little over 20 years, 22 years now. No, a little longer than that. But we have over 40 years of combined. We have over 60 years of experience. But looking at over 40 years of residential, commercial, and military contracts. We worked with the top 5 companies, general contractors in the world. We know the business in and out. So we have decided to go nonprofit with it, and that has a lot of benefits for those people that need to have a tax write-off and those kind of things. And so we get into that. We also are very passionate about health, and so we also deal in the gym industry and the health industry. I am a holistic health practitioner by trade. That's what my practice was. We had several clinics out in San Diego, and right now we don't have any open clinics. All the clinics are closed, but we are working with the gym in the Barstow community, and we're partnering up with the gym, and we're going to be providing. It's called Fitness MD. We're providing a service, and we're working together as partners, and so we have membership, and we receive membership for those people that come in, and so through the gym, you know, we obviously have the gym equipment and those things, which is great, but you can always reach out to us. We have trainers in there, and then we have a National Academy of Sports Medicine accredited trainer. We have some other trainers that are part of the program as well. I was both National Academy of Sports Medicine and holistic health practitioner certified, and so we do holistic health as well. We look at both the Eastern and Western philosophy of medicine, and we do our best to look at the root cause of situations. So we get into that as well. We can help with web development. We can point you in the right direction with web development, and we're working with a couple other people to partner up with them with logo design. These are people that are responsible, prominent people that have either been in some sort of leadership role, leadership position, or business ownership. I'm not messing around with people that, with startups and trying to show me how to run a business. No, we can help you being a startup and show you how to evolve your business, but we're not going to take on those that are coming our way that have never owned a business and use them as instructors or teachers or guides or leads to others, because then that would be blind leading the blind, right? If you've never owned a business before, great. We will serve you, and you will be served by those that have done it before. They're either in retirement, like myself, people that have owned businesses and sold their businesses, and they've purchased other businesses and they're still working or whatever it is. I say that I'm retired, but I'm retired from the corporate world when it comes to those things. But I'm very active, and I am working on a daily. I'm working with my hands right now. I've been posting pictures that it's whatever it takes. And see, I've been doing services on coolers up here in the high desert. We've been doing servicing coolers. We own property, and so we do the services on our property. So we've been servicing the coolers on our property. And so, business management, property management, you name it. And then again, we are always looking to partner up with bros and sisters out there that want to give us the time and have the same passion that we have to pass on the information that we have, so others can become financially free. And really the financial freedom is obviously a big portion of it, but it's more of a spiritual freedom, because it all starts with what's going on in the mind, and educating and inspiring and helping others understand that they have a value, meaning you, that you have a value. I was told my whole life that I wasn't going to amount to anything. I was told my whole life that I was basically shit. You're good for nothing. And I understand how hard that is, especially growing up, and then when it's especially the people that you love that talk to you this way. And so we're here for all of that, to assist those people and all that, to show you that you do have a value, not to believe that you're not going to amount to anything, and changing the mindset. Because if I could do it, you can 100% do it. 100%. I am the least in the kingdom of heaven. There's others that are doing way more, are affecting way more, and have gone through way more. And so that's the mission of Evangels MC. We are Evangels MC. We are a management company. We are a mission center. We're still looking for a location. The Lord will provide us the location soon enough, and we'll keep people updated on that as soon as that starts to come around. All these things take time, and so because we completely re-geared all of our insights, and we wanted to make sure that our transmission went from being a regular transmission to an AOD, C4 transmission, for those of you guys that like, getting into those things. I don't know too much about the mechanics, but I just know that, we gutted everything out. We gutted out all the things that we were getting into. We had, like I said, massage clinics. We had a restaurant at a point. We were doing catering. We do get, and we will get back into those things. You will see our brand. We are going to begin to brand, and you will see our branding, and we're absolutely going to start branding because it's important so people can see the difference in service between us and what the rest of the people are doing, because it's time for others to start stepping up. So it's like in the NFL, right? The New England Patriots have been a dynasty, and they're a dynasty in the, they were a dynasty in the making 16, 17, 18 years ago, right? They were getting tuned, fine-tuned, and then Super Bowl after Super Bowl and playoff after playoff for the last 16, 17, 18, 19 years, right? And so they're not practicing anymore. They're about it. They know what they're doing, right? And so it's a well-known fact that it's unprecedented what they've done as an organization. And because of what they've done, they've impacted the NFL so much that other organizations are trying to follow or trying to understand the processes that they have so they can be maybe what the Patriots were, or to perform better than the Patriots, right? And it's not to say that they haven't lost a Super Bowl or whatever it is, it's I'm talking about the organization itself, right? It's an organization of winners. And so you can look at the other organizations out there, and whether it's the coaching, whether it's the general managers or the team itself, there's you always see disconnects, and the New England Patriot organization has found a way to make all of that work up until the last couple of years. And so it comes to a point, right? That's why Brady's over at Tampa Bay now, right? And so it just you get to a point. And so it was great while it lasted, and we're going to see, how great the organization continues to be, even amongst the issues that they have without having their top, greatest of all time quarterback, and so it's rebounding from those things. How do you continue to be great even though things like those happen? Well, people don't have to retire all the time. Peyton Manning had to retire. John Elway. I mean, you get to a point, right? And so now it's talking about the organization. You see the NFL impacted by it because virtually all across the NFL, you have people from the New England Patriots organization either coaching or in some leadership role throughout the all NFL. That were under Belichick and Robert Kraft and everybody else. And so same thing, here we come. We like I said, we re-geared everything. We're structuring this. It's going to take a little bit, it won't be this year. Lord willing, we'll just start seeing more and more, and he gives us the license to continue to do the things that we're doing as we're about it. And we are about it. You're going to start seeing the branding again. You're not going to, I don't like wearing other people's stuff, Luke 10:33, this came from a sister that, we were working together on a project. She needed to get some things done. We got those things taken care of, and we were about it. We stepped in where we needed to step in and get those things handled for her, and again, it's all God, and it's just sometimes you got to have a champion there that's going to take some licks and not afraid to speak up and and tell people that, you know, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? And so wherever we go, we improve the area that we're in. And so we will show it with not just words. You know, we can speak on it, and I can tell you how great. What's Ice Cube say? It's if you a baller, I'm a Hall of Famer. Well, you know, if you're a baller, then I'm a Hall of Famer. You know, and so we're coming, and we're coming to make improvements, and you know, I see streets of gold and waters of crystal diamonds, and you know, if we repent, the kingdom of heaven is truly at hand, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Believe me, I can't wait. You know, and what's great about this turnaround is that this time I'm documenting. I'm documenting as much as I can, so when we start to stand up in front of groups and groups of people, you know, we won't have the what I had, where I was like, well, yeah, Donald Trump. I mean, you know, I went to Trump University. Yeah, Donald Trump, but you know, you were a silver spoon, man. You were given $1 million. The rumor was, right? You were given $1 million to continue, and it's like, man, how badly misinformed I was. Not to say that the $1 million rumor wasn't true, but the $1 million rumor was just a rumor, because if you find out, if I give you $10, it doesn't make you a $10 man or girl. If I give you $1 million, it doesn't make you a millionaire. It just makes you you just have $1 million in your hand. And this has been proven time and time again with people that have won the lottery, that have won the lottery, had the millions in lottery earnings, and then they're broke and even worse off than they were in the beginning. And so that's another teaching for another day. I got to close this off because I have some other things that I got to do. I'm going to do this in sections. I'm just passionate about what I do, and I want other people to see it, because I don't want to run around with weeds. I mean, weeds are going to grow, I understand, but I want to see weeds get destroyed. You know, weeds need to get destroyed. It's as simple as that. They don't belong on streets of gold. They just don't belong. We got to eliminate them. You know, the waters, you know, diamond, baby. I want a crystal clear water. I don't want that nasty stuff going on that's going on. We got to clean these waters up. You know, we got to take care of those things that are around us. We got to put value into those things that we have, because if we don't put any value, for sure, we've already seen it. If we allow destruction, if we allow swamps to continue, you know, then then the viruses come out. And believe you me, we're so worried about this virus right now that we're missing the point of the mosquito virus. And the mosquito virus kills more people worldwide than any other virus in the face of the world. Period. Look it up. Mosquitoes kill more people and everything, and spread around more disease than anything else on the face of this planet. And we're over here wearing these stupid bandanas because of some epidemic that was created for whatever reason, right? For whatever purpose, political, non-political, whatever it is. Believe you me, if we don't have a strand for it, it's an unnatural disease. If it's unnatural, it was created. And it was created by men to destroy men. Simple as that. So, like the nuclear bomb. Created by men to destroy other men. So anyways, I'm going to continue on this. This is the series 1. We are Evangels MC. Here we come. EvangelsMC.org. You can take a look at our webpage there. We have a Facebook page. I'm going to be sharing this on Facebook. It's our Evangels MC Facebook page. We have the Evangels MC, and then I have another page on the Evangels MC. We also have a Luke 10:33 page. That's a sister that was praying on this. The Good Samaritan, look it up. It's on the Bible. Luke 10:33 is the Good Samaritan. You can see what it's all about and how this is all going to integrate. Also, we're at the gym. You know, we have a gym in the Barstow community. You know, the gym that we're serving with right now and that we're working together to help and serve those better is Fitness MD. We're Fitness MD, Fitness MD 24/7.com. You can see us there. We have our website. We're going to start talking about memberships here pretty soon. We need to start getting people back into the swing of things. We're going to be opening up here pretty soon, it looks like. And what we're going to start doing is also giving out some pretty good deals for people. So because we understand that there's a financial burden that comes with all this, right? And so we want to make sure that people are still able to participate in membership and be a part of what we're doing. And so we're going to add a little flavor, a little extra fat to the. I say let's take away the fat because we don't want fat. We're gonna start adding some protein, right, so to speak, to our serving, right? And so. Check with us on that a little bit, and it's time. I'm gonna, it's time to start pressing forward. You know, we have health that we have to start working on, and the best way to fight any kind of virus is through having healthy cells in our body. You know, cancer is no different. Healthy cells destroy bad cells. You know, cancer cells get destroyed by good healthy cells. It's the bottom line. Holistic health. You have Eastern and Western philosophy. I am in medicine. I understand medicine. So I'm not going to be fooled by no punk doctor that's going to sit there and try to fool you about one situation or another. I know the verbiage. I've been around medical my whole life because I have family that's in the medical field. And then I enjoyed it. And so then, you know, at the age of, was it 19? I can't remember if I was 18 or 19 when I started studying health myself. And then you go through the kinetic chain and through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I mean, it's sports medicine. I've been dealing with medicine, you know, my entire life in some form or another. My dad was a health nut, you know, growing up. So I had to learn these things, you know, eating different things and all this stuff. And so, you know, for those of you that need the certifications, we have the certifications. I don't care. You can look at it, you know, I don't know if I even posted them on the wall or what. I don't care. You want to look at the certifications, it is what it is. Look up what holistic health is, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Look up what I'm telling you, and I know what I'm talking about. Now, we're not going to sit there and give you a diagnosis on something and misinform you and tell you you need to get off of your diabetes pills, but you need to get off of your diabetes pills. How? Well, just don't stop. It's like telling you right now, you know, you want to improve your life, you know, don't quit your job. We can help you improve your job. It's a step. Everything is a step. It's planning, right? It's planning. You want to improve the life that you're living. You don't want to work at, you know, a fast food restaurant anymore. Okay, well, continue doing what you're doing, and then let's start planning on how to get you out, because you have to plan, right? So when look at it like this, and I'm going to close it out. I just like to, I keep going and going and going, and I don't stop. It's just like, you know, Two Short used to say, it's like just going on and on, 2,000 hours, and you know, anyways. So the whole thing is that I'm going to give you this analogy, you know, and this is like it's a Mexican proverb, this Mexican proverb, you know, the donkey falls into the well, right? Because they call you burro, you know, you're a burro, so you fell into the well, you know. Never mind, there's a big hole right there in front of you, but you fell into the well, and now you can't see. And so they're like, well, how do we get this burro out, right? And so then they're like, you know, the burro is like, you're stupid. And so they're trying to bury this burro, right? Because he's a stupid burro. And so you're trying to bury this burro. It's like the world is trying to bury you, right? They're trying to kill you. And so then they're throwing dirt in the hole because it's like, the burro's in the hole. Great, let's bury him. Let's completely just take this burro out, you know? And so the burro's like, man, they're really trying to let me stay in here. They ain't trying to help me. I fell in this hole. It's like, I can't even see the light. You know, this sucks. I'm about to die. But the burro isn't so stupid. He's a burro because he's stubborn, but he's a burro for a reason. And so the burro's like, shake it off. shake it off, bro. Shake it off. They're throwing dirt on you, right? And so shake it off. Shake it off. Pretty soon the burro's looking around, and then he looks up, and all of a sudden he sees light, right? And the burro's like, well, I'm still here. And they're still throwing dirt down there. They're trying to cover up the hole. They're trying to cover up the burro. They're trying to keep you away. They're trying to keep you down. They're trying to oppress you, right? You burro. And they keep throwing the dirt. The burro keeps shaking it off, keep shaking it off. Next thing you know, the burro's ears are out of the well. And then all of a sudden the burro can look around. He's like, oh, shake it off. Keep shaking off the dirt, you know? And then pretty soon, the burro steps out of that deep-ass well. And he moves on. And he realizes that everybody was trying to throw dirt on him, was trying to kill him. Didn't care that he was down in the hole. They weren't trying to save him. They were trying to bury him. Or her. I don't want to discriminate you ladies. Ladies are beautiful. We got to have you around. You know? It sucks not to be around women. You got to have women. You guys are the light of the life. You know? You evil ones. No, I'm just kidding. No, I ain't. And so, you know, moral of the story is, if you're a burro, it's all right, bro. It's all right, girl. Just shake it off. I got to cut this off. Y'all have a good one. evangelismc.org. We are a ministry. You know, we are about our business, and we understand things are tough. We understand it. If we look at it, with stress, and we look at the fact that we're in the hole and we're stuck in the hole, we can just lay down and die, or we can enjoy what's left of the life that we have on this earth, and together, because you know, so my boy Justice would say, teamwork makes the dream work. It wasn't his saying, but he always used to say that. You know, my boy Justice, I loved him to death. I mean, the dude was bad to the bone. Teamwork makes the dream work. And if you ain't working as a team, then your dream ain't working. And that's why it ain't working, because you're dealing with the wrong people. You're in a nightmare? Well, it's because you're over there dealing with demons. Come to me, says the Lord. And we will brighten your day. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.